I have just celebrated my 60th anniversary as an RSHM. I have been in Rome 58 years. I have worked in our international school, I have worked in our Italian school, and I have also been archivist here in the General Aid. The Institute really has always had its archives from the very beginning in Béziers. Then in the 1960s, when the General Aid was moved back to Rome, and Sister Mary Milligan was the Superior General, who had a great love for archives and the history of the Institute, she decided that General Aid should have an archivist. Historical archives were left in Béziers, but everything from the Superior Generals was to be moved to Rome, and that's what we did. I am the first archivist of the General Aid. In Béziers are the original letters of the founder and most of the original material of the foundation. I have some letters here of the foundress. These are original letters written by Mère Saint-Jean to Père Gaillac. Even though they lived in the same house together, they wrote to one another every day. She wrote letters to him and he answered her letters. So therefore we have a fantastic history. You can see her signature, Saint Jean Superior. And then I have everything here regarding the Superior Generals. When people entered, a register was kept, a register of people entering, and it was called the Grand Register. And it begins, the very first person is Mère Saint-Jean. And these are all written by hand. There's her date of birth, her date of her parents' name, etc., all the information. And this was kept by hand for all the early sisters up to 1954, from Mother Saint-Jean, who was the first Superior General, down to Sister Teresina, who was the last Superior General before Roz. All that historical information is here in this General Aid. This is a copy of the death certificate of Apollonie Cure. Here you have a letter from Mère Saint-Jean when she was still Apollonie Cure, Policier. This is a notebook, a little notebook that the founders kept her notes in. You can see she was very precise, everything was very, this was also another little. It's very interesting. The ink that they used was purple, and it's lasted. It's just as if it were written now. You can see it was written in 1849. Years ago, which we don't do, but certainly in the time of the founder they did it. And even when I entered the novitiate, at the change of the hour, we used to say a little prayer, which we call the blessing of the hours. And this was a French tradition, and these are the original. The Guard of Honor. Everybody in the novitiate was given a different hour to which say a prayer. So here we have the nightcap worn by our founders. This is a little water jug that she used. And this was which she kept on her night table. It's Our Lady of La Salette. This is a prayer book of hers. And this was a little box that we found that evidently she kept. We don't know whether it was on her desk or her night table, but she kept little things in it. These little dolls were done for the archives by a sister in Portugal. It's the 4 habits, or it's our original habit. The sisters, the choir, the lay sisters habit, then the in-between habit, then the modern habit, and then we went into secular dress altogether. These are things belonging to the founder. These are socks worn by Père Gaillac. These are mittens. As you see, they're only half. They only went as far as a certain part of the hand. This is a handkerchief of Père Gaillac. This is his Golden Jubilee. This was his watch. This was his snuff box. In France it was very common, it still is for men to use snuff. This is an original letter of Père Gaillac's. As you can see, it's all written in pencil by hand. He wrote, very, very small. These were other things in the view from the mother house. That's also a letter of Père Gaillac. That we don't know where it came from, but it's a very old, it's a Sacred Heart of Mary and a Sacred Heart of Jesus together. In Père Gaillac's time, one of the means of livelihood was to teach orphans how to embroider. Wine, yeah, but back in the founder's time, yes, the boys did it, but it was probably only for use of the house.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time.
No, I'm delighted.